All right, we just finished off the Nintendo Direct, and overall, I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with what I saw. I think the thing that impressed me more about this Direct than any other showcase we had so far, and Nintendo always does this, and they're really good at doing this. It's they don't just show gameplay. They don't just explain a little bit about the game. They also tell you when this is coming out, and it's never sometime next year. It's never sometime down the line. It's always, hey, in 5 months, this game is ready for you. Hey, today you can download this. And that's what I really appreciate about Nintendo Directs is that they don't tease the player. They don't tease us with just, hey, somewhere down the line you're gonna get this game. They say, hey, in October you're gonna be playing whatever game. I freaking love that. Now, when it comes to the specific announcements, Nintendo Directs are always a little mixed for me. There's always some things I freaking love and some things I don't really care too much about. So they started things off a little rocky for me. They started things off with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. I couldn't care less. We went into Sonic Superstars. I love the game. It looks cool, but I already seen it, so not impressed. Some like sim life game that doesn't interest me at all. Persona 5 Tactica. I love strategy games. I love Persona. Something about Persona 5 Tactica doesn't really sing to me. It doesn't call to me saying I need to play this one. Maybe just because I'm a little burnt out on strategy games and Persona as well. So really both of them together doesn't really interest me right now. Maybe somewhere down the line I might pick up the game. But again, just right now I'm not interested in that. Alright, and then they showed off their next Splatfest for Splatoon 3. I like Splatfest, so I'm pretty excited for this. It's vanilla, strawberry, or mint chip. I don't mess with mint chip, and vanilla's boring as hell, so my go-to is strawberry for this one. It's kicking things off on July 15th through July 17th. I'm pretty excited for that. I like Splatfest. It always gives me a reason to come back to Splatoon 3 and kind of just hang out and play a little bit. So I'm pretty excited for that. I'm going to have to start training again and practicing and getting a little bit the hang of it just because it's been a minute. Which kind of always happens for Splatfest. Like every time I hear it getting announced, I always have to try to like train up a little bit. Overall, I'm pretty excited for it. It wasn't the DLC update that we wanted though, but hey, we'll get that eventually. And then they showed off Detective Pikachu, and this is a game I didn't play the original Detective Pikachu. This is Detective Pikachu Returns. It's a sequel to the first one. I didn't play the first one. I did watch the movie and I did really like the movie and I like the characters. I like the really deep voice, kind of like gritty Pikachu. It's just always really funny to see. Graphically, this game bothers me. It looks like a really cleaned up PS2 game, in my opinion. It doesn't really look anything fantastic. But overall, the world kind of has me interested. I like Pokemon. I've been falling out of Pokemon games in general. I really haven't been as excited for them. I think maybe Pokemon Scarlet and Violet kind of killed that vibe for me. But hey, if this game if we get closer to this game, I might want to check it out. We'll see. It is coming in October, and October is a pretty jam-packed month. So I don't know for sure if I'm gonna be checking this one out, but it definitely got me interested at the very least. Alright, here's when we actually start cooking. Here's where the real spicy meat and potatoes be coming in. Super Mario RPG being remade for the Nintendo Switch. I honestly can't believe this happened. This seemed like one of those things that everyone would be like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool if it happens, and just never happens. I played Super Mario RPG back then when I was younger for like a little bit. Honestly, I couldn't really get past the art style of the Super Nintendo game. I know a lot of people really applaud it, and even I gave it a lot of respect for technically it's doing a lot of really cool things. Just aesthetically, it didn't really vibe with me. I was more of like a Mario and Luigi kind of guy, but this remake and this art style, it looks to kind of not emulate, but kind of recapture that original Super Nintendo aesthetic, but making it cleaned up, making it a little bit more appealing for a modern audience. Yo, I am so sold for this one. I feel like Mario needs to have an RPG style game, and we kind of really fell away from it with Alpha Dream no longer making the Mario and Luigi series. And then we have like Paper Mario, but it's kind of moved to a weirder direction. So having Super Mario RPG come back full force, getting people excited for a traditional turn-based RPG with Mario in it, I am so sold by this game. I'm picking it up day one, and we don't have to wait long. That's the crazy part. Again, they have these really quick turnout times from announcement to like gameplay um, to actual release date, which is something so unique with Nintendo. If it be PlayStation or Xbox, they say, hey, 2 years down the line, you might be playing this game, but expect delays. And Nintendo's like, nah, baby, we got this thing coming out for you this year. Again, I can't express how excited I am to play this game. This is definitely a day one pickup for me. They did also announce that like remaking or remastering the second Luigi's Mansion game back on DS for the Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty hyped about that. I really like Luigi's Mansion 3. Luigi's Mansion 2, I don't remember being received as well. I think my friend had it and he just told me it wasn't really that much of a good game. But overall, I do like that Luigi's Mansion is getting this like new drum roll of hype, especially after Luigi's Mansion 3. So I'm pretty excited for that. They also announced that they're making a standalone Princess Peach game. Again, this is something that I think was expected after that Mario movie where Peach really took front and center. It's one of the things that I remember my wife telling me, that if they don't make a Princess Peach movie or a video game after this movie, they'd be missing out. So I'm pretty excited that Princess Peach finally has her own game. I don't know what the hell it is, but expect it sometime next year and expect more details on it later on, they said. So I'm very excited for that. Moving on, we moved to like some third-party stuff. The Batman Arkham collection is coming to Nintendo Switch. This is something I'd heard about a while ago, but never came to fruition. This is really cool because this is like the last time Rocksteady made anything amazing, because they're doing Suicide Squad now. And they were really fantastic games, and they are putting all three of them in one collection, and they have like all the DLC and everything included, so that's really cool. I did play these games a ton back then, and I have so many ways to play it now. I don't know if I'm going to be checking it out on Nintendo Switch. But again, we'll see when it releases if I change my mind. Watching the trailer definitely made me miss Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I don't care too much about Arkham Knight. It didn't really grab me the same way Arkham City and Arkham Asylum did. But overall, this is a really great collection for anyone who hasn't checked these games out yet. Silent Hope is this new action RPG coming out. I believe it's an indie game. It looks interesting for me. It looks like my kind of indie style game. I really like action RPGs, and I like this chibi style. I think it works really well for what indie developers are trying to do, making beautiful games and making them like kind of play out in this way. That's very cost effective. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm checking this one out, but it got my attention, and I'm pretty excited for that. They did a sizzle reel like they always do. Nintendo always has a sizzle reel within their directs. I feel like this is one of the better sizzle reels just because it kind of spent a little bit longer time per game. Started things off with Fae Farm, which I don't really care about Fae Farm. Went on to Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Hot Wheels Unleashed was a phenomenal kart racer. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 looks like more of the same, so I'm very excited for that. Mechanic Maniac looks like Overcooked but building cars. I love those style games. We got like Sparks of Hope DLC, just a whole bunch of random stuff announced. Nothing really like stood out as like groundbreaking, but I think overall 3 out of 4 games that I'm interested in, pretty good. Square Enix always comes to the Nintendo Switch, and they always show out with something pretty cool. We got Dragon Quest Monsters, which looks like a Shin Megami Pokemon style Dragon Quest game where you kind of go and capture monsters within the Dragon Quest world, and you go and battle them against other monsters. I'm pretty excited for this. I'm a big Dragon Quest fan. After I played Dragon Quest 11, I played Dragon Quest Treasures, and that was a very interesting style game. Overall, I want to keep supporting Dragon Quest just because I feel like it hasn't really got the same love as some of other Square's IPs have, especially because it's more popular in Japan. But I think it is a franchise that us here on the West are starting to appreciate and kind of gravitate towards more, especially with like Square kind of moving away from turn-based. This seems to be one of their main IPs that is still true to turn-based. They don't seem to be straying away anytime soon, so I'm pretty excited for that. They do gotta fix their music. I hate Dragon Quest music, no offense. They did a deep dive into Pikmin 4. I don't know what to think of Pikmin still. Like, it looks exactly what I expect Pikmin to look like. The art style is really cool, and the characters look really interesting. The world looks fun. But overall, just the gameplay loop doesn't grab me. It doesn't interest me. I'm just not a Pikmin guy, I guess, and I'm coming to understand that. I wanted to go into Pikmin 4 kind of excited. They do have a demo that they said is coming out, so maybe I try out the demo. Maybe it sells me on it. But something, I don't know, something about this game feels empty, like not complete, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just because I'm waiting for something to really grab me, because again, aesthetically, I'm hooked. The characters, the world looks very interesting. I'm hooked. But the gameplay just doesn't hook me. I don't know. Maybe I'm the oddball out. They did also say that they're bringing back Pikmin 1 and 2. They did shadow drop them today, with the release dates coming in September physically. I don't think it has the same effect that Metroid Prime Remastered had, but I mean, they're trying with Pikmin. Something a lot of people predicted was going to come to the Nintendo Switch was the Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 collection. This is something that we saw announced earlier in the Summer Game Fest, and now we finally see it coming to the Nintendo Switch. Overall, it looks interesting, it looks cool. I'm not a big Metal Gear Solid fan, but if you're interested in getting into the series, or you've just loved the series and you want to play it again, hey, it's coming portably. I'm not a fan of mobile games, but when everyone was playing Vampire Survivor, I definitely hopped on it and I was very excited. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. I was waiting for it to come to Switch. But now that it's finally coming to Switch, I wasn't really super hyped about it. I'm like, dude, I played enough of it on my phone. It's free on my phone. Why would I want to play it on Switch? But then they go and say that it's 4 players local co-op. All right, getting a bunch of my brothers together, or even playing with my wife and son. Vampire Survivor, 4 players, sounds amazing. I'm hooked. You got me. I'm down to give this one a try again. Penny's Big Breakaway is a new 3D platformer coming to Nintendo Switch. I believe this is also an indie game. I love it though. It looks really cool. It looks really polished. I kind of want to give it a shot. I like the whole yo-yo aesthetic. The color palette looks very interesting. The characters look fun. They definitely look like it's very much someone's passion project. Someone who loves 3D platformers. As someone who loves 3D platformers, I could definitely respect it, and I can't wait to hop into this one as well. The new Mario Kart Booster Course Pack was announced with new characters, new maps. Again, we know this already. It's exciting. I want to play it again. I like playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe whenever they add new characters and new maps. So I'm definitely going to be checking it out. But even more exciting, moving over to Square Enix again, Star Ocean, the Second Story R remake is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and this game looks freaking beautiful. It is so interesting looking. I like that they're taking a franchise like Star Ocean, which isn't really that popular, and they're adding a cool little twist on it. They're getting a little experimental with the art style. I love this. It looks like a new, different type of iteration of HD 2D, where the world looks kind of lush and beautiful, but the characters still look pixelated in a different kind of 3D camera angle. I don't know. It looks really cool. It looks really interesting. I never actually played a Star Ocean game, so I'm definitely going to have to give Star Ocean Second Story a shot, because, again, as someone who loves RPGs, someone who loves Square Enix titles, this game looks just phenomenal, and it looks right up my alley. Alright, they announced a new WarioWare game coming to Nintendo Switch. I love WarioWare. I love that adding a party mode. I'm pretty sure this is like all waggle mechanics. This is all motion control, which doesn't excite me. I'm not really too big into motion control. I have Switch Sports and I like playing that for what it is. But WarioWare is kind of a little more hectic, kind of a little more crazy. So I don't know if I want to play that motion control. We'll have to see whenever it comes out. But right now I'm not really sold on this one yet. Alright, here it is. The big bad, the one last thing title. This is a thing that Nintendo does so well, is they save the best for last. And something that a lot of other people need to do better is making sure your one last thing is a surprise, and making sure it's something that everyone is excited for. A new 2D style Mario game that looks different than new Super Mario Bros. Games. It looks more interesting, it looks more lively, more colorful. The backgrounds pop a lot more. Everything looks just really cool. I'm really excited for this one. They have a lot of cool little, nice little mechanics, cool little tricks. Again, I'm a huge 2D Mario fan. I don't think there's a bad 2D Mario game. I think there's some that kind of like we don't want to see anymore. But overall, you can't tell me that there's a bad 2D Mario game. It just doesn't exist. The idea is so sound, so simple. They did add like some kind of randomizer to the game where like you grab this like effect and then it's gonna change based off of where you're at. I'm not exactly sure what it was. It looked really cool and poppy and partyful with a bunch of different art styles and colors. Man, this is probably my highlight of the show. The one last thing was phenomenal, and I can't wait to hop into this game. Overall, that was our Nintendo Direct. And something that I think is really interesting is that not much of these games are coming out 2024. They're coming out 2023. And a lot of people were saying Nintendo has nothing for rest of 2023, and Nintendo just shut them up, because even though these aren't like the biggest Tears of the Kingdom style games, they already dropped Tears of the Kingdom. These are also some pretty big hitters for the Nintendo Switch. I'm excited for this. Anyways, you guys, those are my final thoughts on the Nintendo Direct. Do me a favor, like the video if you guys enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing, as it does help me out tons. With that, I'll catch you guys on the next video.